The handshake that changed the course of Blackburn Rovers' season. Jack Walker and Kenny Dalglish went into partnership on October the 12th. The famous old club was turning over a new leaf in its history. Nobody could doubt Big Jack's intentions. His flair for business had brought him extraordinary wealth, but at heart he remained an ordinary Blackburn fan. When he sold Walker Steel for £330 million, he set about trying to make Rovers as successful. Having got his majority shareholding, Jack Walker then got his man. Kenny Dalglish had gathered all the right credentials at Liverpool, but 8 months earlier, he'd retired from management.
The ambition that was stressed to me from Blackburn's point of view, how ambitious he wanted to be, futuristic, and the stability of the club was the thing that was more of the most important thing in my discussions with Blackburn.
Dalglish took charge of a team lying 11th in the second division table. They'd scored 5 goals in their first 6 home games. They scored 5 goals in his first afternoon at Ewood Park. Irvin's done well. In towards Moran, and he's done very well. Sellers. He's only been on the field 5 minutes. This is Simon Garner. 2-0, right on the stroke of half-time. Sellers will take the free kick. Speedie coming round the back. They're putting on a show for the new boss. Garner it was who won the penalty, and Speedie it is who scores the penalty. Hill. Speedie. Garner looking to get past Marker. Oh, it's a landslide. As Simon Garner special to round off a very special day. Blackburn had not made a particularly special start to the season under Don Mackay. The manager who had taken them to within touching distance of promotion on 3 occasions had spent the previous season dodging relegation. Steve Agnew, David Speedie and Stuart Munro had been added to the squad at a cost of £1.5 million. New faces, old luck. Darren Anderton's lucky dip gave Portsmouth the lead in the opening game. Not until the final minute did Rovers equalise. Kevin Moran's leadership became one of the indelible hallmarks of the final promotion push in the spring. Leading from the front as always, he led Rovers to their first point, their only point in August. The Rumbelows Cup campaign drove to an early grave too. Third Division Hull City did their best in the first leg at Ewood. Neil Buckley kind enough to give Blackburn the lead. But early in the second half, Andy Payton steered what proved to be the decisive goal of the tie into an empty net. All the summer talk had been of the players Mackay had tried to sign, but failed to sign. Lineker, Sheringham, Newell. Now even the ones he had signed were struggling to make an impact, or the right sort of impact anyway. At Bristol City, a miserable opening week was completed with the dismissal of Tony Dobson for fouling Wayne Allison, who duly scored the winning goal. Don Mackay's head was on the block.
Lee Palin, one look up and one delivery of a pass, and Jenkinson's onside. Lee Jenkinson, real chance. And that could be the goal that knocks Blackburn Rovers out of the Rumbelows Cup. 2-1 on aggregate now. Jenkinson again. His pace is electrifying. He's in again. Hits Moran, but Dobson's there, and he'll clear up. Howard Gale, neat back heel, brings in Richardson, tries the shot, so it won't go in for Blackburn.
Came off Dazelle, fought by Johnson, Kiwomya's onside, and he's beaten Mims to it, and Ipswich Town take the lead. Kiwomya's sheer speed of foot will get him to the ball first, and this is Dazelle arriving, and Goddard, and Rovers are in real trouble now. Looking at a third straight defeat. Last minute, corners come for Gale. Off the bar, Speedie. A goal which may just have come too late. Too late to save a point. Rovers took just 1 from their first 3 games. Too little to save Don Mackay. On September the 2nd, his 4-year reign came to an end.
I've at least got 1 trophy on the table for Blackburn Rovers. Maybe not the biggest in the world, but at least I've got that, which I'm proud of. I was proud of taking a team out at Wembley. It was a great day. I think a lot of the supporters remembered that day. And I hope they'll do other things. I hope they'll want the better things. But as far as I'm concerned now, I'm more concerned getting Fulham out of the 3rd Division and into the 2nd Division.
Dalglish was the man Blackburn wanted from the outset, but Tony Parks was the man put in charge on a caretaker basis. He arrived in the Rovers dressing room more than 20 years ago. Player, coach, temporary manager, he'd done the lot. It was Derby's Peter Shilton standing in his way at the start of his latest mission. Williams is caught in possession by Wilcox. Good shot. Shilton kept it out. Skinner looking for Speedie, just away by Coleman. Here comes Richardson. Shilton again. Speedie's still in there. Wilcox! It was a long time coming, but Jason Wilcox has given them the lead. Speedie jumping in front of Shilton and putting Rovers 2 up, and within sight of the victory the club so desperately needs. Now John Rose running free. Possibilities here. Speedie's in the clear. This could finish it. David Speedie with a chance to tie up all the loose ends.
Towards the nearer, away by Atkins. Skinner will chase. And Skinner's got away, and Blackburn have a chance of a break. David Speedie is up ahead and making a searching run, and he's onside. David Speedie. 1-0. 13 minutes. Forward by Brown to Skinner. He gives Brown the ball back, and Skinner has it, and Brown's continued the run. Nice interchange between the two of them. Wilcox! The crossbar denies the second. Aspin away, wouldn't come down for John Rose. John Rose in the clear. Garner's peeled away. Aspin's gone with him. Garner's shot, and the woodwork denies them again.
Amidst all the money talk, the feeling was growing that the answer to Blackburn's prayers may be sitting on their own doorstep. Sitting in for the impressive list of potential successors, Tony Parks has successfully tapped into the potential of the existing squad. His third win in 4 games at the helm. It came with a single first-half goal against Watford. A goal that David Speedie deserved for his positioning and control, but which Lee Richardson gobbled up after James had saved. It was a match Blackburn should have won more comfortably. Both Richard Brown and Lenny John Rose hit the woodwork. But Parks, in his own quiet way, was making life a little uncomfortable for those in the boardroom hell-bent on delivering a household name to the manager's office.
We've no divine right to go on here at Ewood Park and win the game. We've had to work and battle. We've scored a great goal from a tap in the end, but Dave Speedie's chested it down and smacked in a good shot. So, and we've hit the bar a couple of times, so all in all, I think we deserve to win.
They didn't make it easy on your nerves, did they, towards the end?
No, I think they're testing me now to the full. We started at Derby and we played well, and it was very, very comfortable. But since them days, they've kept me on my toes, but they've done well again, and what more can I say? That we've won 1-0, and again, we've got 10 points, I think, out of 12.
It's more than just a little nudge now, isn't it, to the powers that be, that maybe you're the man for the job?
Well, I mean, the players have shown what they're all about. I mean, we've got young players in here learning the job and they're battling away, and again, the results. As I've said before, people keep asking me about the manager's position. All I can do is try and win points and put pressure on them, and again, the lads have done first class.
The campaign to re-elect Tony Parks suffered a setback or two at the end of September. Defeat at Leicester, followed by stalemate with Tranmere Rovers. Blackburn suddenly stopped scoring goals. The run of the ball was running away from them again. For the second time in his distinguished Rovers career, Tony was running out of time to stake his claim. He was in charge at Millwall on October the 5th, but D-Day, Dalglish Day, was already being planned. So Paul Stevenson now for Millwall. Fierce shots, just tipped to safety by Bobby Mims. Stevenson against Duxbury. Ian Bogey to his right. This is Bogey. And that was an even better save by Mims. Falco. Now Stevenson. Kerr trying his luck. And I think Mims got a vital touch again. Well, that's a good ball for Skinner. Lee Richardson arriving in support. This is Richardson. This is Speedie. What a good goal. Just 2 minutes of the first half remaining. Bogey inside John Rose for Kerr. Falco must score. Has he kept it out? He has. Amazing save by Bobby Mims. It was a terrific cross. Falco just had to score. But somehow, Mims clung on the line. Later. Simon Garner. Still got a trick or two up his sleeve. Here comes Lenny John Rose. And that's 2-0 for Blackburn. John Rose has got it. Mick McCarthy taking on a little too much, and Garner can make him pay here. Simon Garner with only the keeper to worry about. No contest. Nobody does it better. Millwall pulled a goal back through Colin Cooper late on, but Tony Parks and Asa Hartford had lifted Blackburn 10 places up the table to within 2 points of the playoff zone. Two key men. But what of the main man?
Yes, obviously we're interested. If Kenny Dalglish is interested, we are interested in Kenny.
Everybody was interested in Kenny. His return to football was headline news. The King was back, and Blackburn was back on the football map. The new Pied Piper of Ewood Park led thousands back to the club. There was only one autograph to have in your book if you're a Blackburn fan. Kenny Dalglish was a big box office attraction. Much of his magic rubbed off on Rovers. Home matches became all ticket affairs. The club shop was the busiest shop in town. At a time of recession, Ewood Park was experiencing a boom. Every well-dressed young man was wearing blue and white. Gates that had slipped below 9,000 were soon up 50%. And results were on the up too. Livingston. Out to Alan Irvine. Having an early look at Jobling. That's a good cross. Garner! Superbly taken. Another gem from the record collection of Simon Garner. McDermott's throw. Woods couldn't quite make it. Reese could. Woods finding Charles arriving on the scene. Gilbert's there, but he's not needed. Charles has equalised. Flicked on. It'll come for Atkins. It was a free header. I think Scott Sellers is the favourite from this side. Very nearly came off. Sherwood got a touch, or it was goal bound. Cut out by Richardson. Here goes Alan Irvine. Some shots, some save. Sellers with a corner. Looking for Wilcox, away as far as Richardson. Hit Speedie. Atkins, yes! An arc on, and Mark Atkins makes it 2-1. Atkins getting himself involved again. Deflected. Speedie couldn't reach it. Sellers, sweetly hit. Deserved better. Oh, that's the sort of pass that wingers dream about from David Speedie. Irvine on the end of it. He's turned jobbing again. Wilcox, maybe. Maybe not. Sellers. Wilcox into Garner, got caught there. Wilcox going on. It's a penalty. Simon Garner cut down by Paul Butcher, who can complain all he likes. It'll be Speedie. Post and out. And that one would have closed Grimsby out. Sherwood went the wrong way, but his post never moved. Still 2-1.
Keith Hill. Surging forward. Brings in Wilcox. Deep ball. Speedie will make something of it. Doesn't he always? Sellers. Good save. Garner closing in. Beanie gathers. Nicky Reed. Alan Wright. Popping up, supporting the attack again. Here's Scott Sellers. Wilcox arriving, and Beanie will gather at the second attempt. No, knocked away. Won't go in. Always a buzz when he gets the ball. There's always a buzz when Sellers gets it too, and here's Wright again. He's got himself just over the top. Richardson. As well. Speedie is in the clear. He's brought down by Gary O'Reilly, and that's a penalty. But now George Courtney has the decision as to whether it's a red card offence. Was that the professional foul? No more experienced referee than George Courtney to make the decision. It is, and Gary O'Reilly is sent off with some 25 minutes to go. Kevin Moran is at the bar. Well, Speedie missed a penalty last week, and Kevin Moran's got the job, and he's hit the woodwork. Richardson. One Garner's broken away. Oh, was that another one? Yes! Another penalty. And could Mark Beanie be in trouble now? It somehow broke for Garner, and as he slipped by, well, that could be another red card. And George Courtney delivers another blow to Brighton, and a second penalty for Blackburn Rovers. Steve Livingston beats Gary Chivers, the standing keeper, and that's 1-0.
Bobby Mims' long clearance being pursued here for Scott Sellers. Oh, say! What a goal that is! What a start for Rovers. Scott Sellers, an unstoppable left-footed shot. The long Mims clearance meant for Speedie, falling invitingly for Sellers, and did he take the invitation?
Rovers have a chance to engineer something on the break. Speedie looking to get Wilcox on his way. This is Barnes, he's given it straight to Wilcox. And here's Sellers. And Wilcox has gone into the box. Chance for Jason Wilcox, for David Speedie, and that'll do nicely. 2-0, just over 15 minutes left to play, and that could wrap up Kenny Dalglish's first away points. Right again. Sellers once more. Wilcox, whose pace has unnerved Charlton on the break. Speedie's got into the middle. Wilcox looking for him. Speedie hitting the crossbar. So nearly number 10 of the season for David Speedie. Tremendous break. Wilcox's speed and Speedie's sheer appetite for goals.
He'd been in charge for less than a month, and Blackburn was 6 points off the pace in the second division. Kenny Dalglish had well and truly arrived. Accelerating the recovery started under Tony Parks and making a quick inspection of his inheritance. Within 12 days of his arrival, the buying began. Kenny's first acquisition was Ray Harford, a Premier coach for the assault on the Premier League. Don Mackay once joked that it took 2 First Division managers to replace him. Dalglish, still a force at 40 in the daily five-a-sides, was adamant that only the best would do for Blackburn. His first signing was Blackpool's junior international Alan Wright. At 5'5", one of the league's smallest players, but at 20, one of its most promising. Pound for pound, it's debatable whether there was a better signing during the season. Wright was an instant hit. Next came Colin Hendry, a big-hearted defender whose heart had never really left Blackburn. After 2 years away at Manchester City, he returned in November to the club for whom he'd scored a Wembley winner. Hendry, the first player to take the step down from the top flight. Mike Newell had turned Blackburn down during the summer, but that was before his boyhood idol had moved into the manager's office. Dalglish's magnetism was the key to Rovers' first £1 million signing. Gordon Cowan's cost a fifth of that, forsaking top-grade football for the first time in his illustrious career to lend his stealth and experience to the emerging master plan. The Cowan signing said a lot about Dalglish's approach to the promotion bid.
With respect, if you think of the sort of player that a manager buys to get him out of the second division, you're not it, are you?
Well, if you tend to think of the big centre forwards, the big rough players, no. But I tend to look back. I think Al Wilkinson did this with Leeds when they were in the second division. He bought the likes of Gordon Strachan, and bought footballers. And I think this is what the Gaffers tends to do here. He's looking to play his way out of the second division, which suits me and I think suits most of the players here as well.
But with your knowledge of the first division or the Premier Division, whatever it's going to be next season, do you sense that the style of football that Blackburn are playing, the type of football is you know, if all goes well, will be suited to that?
Yeah, if all goes well. I think there's a lot of teams in the first division now tending to play a footballing game rather than the long ball game, which, you know, teams, I think there's probably one or two now who are playing it, such as your Wimbledon, who, again, are not playing nowhere near the style of game that they used to play. But I think the majority of teams are looking to play football, and some good football inside as well.
That could put 2 or 3 years on your career, couldn't it?
Well, hopefully, yeah.
You could have stayed in the first division, of course. Yeah, I mean, we heard about Coventry City's interest. What was it about the Blackburn Rovers deal? Was it the playing side? I mean, how much did you talk to Kenny about playing style before you signed?
Well, once I knew Blackburn were in for me. You know, I had no qualms about coming down to the second division because I think they're a very ambitious club. That was the main reason I came, because the ambition that the Blackburn have showed in getting Kenny Dalglish as manager. Obviously, himself being here and Ray Hartford was a big plus factor as well.
How significant is the Dalglish factor in the success story so far?
I would imagine very significant, really. I think, you know, since he's came to the club, I think there's only been 1 defeat or 2 defeats. I'm not sure. They might have lost one before I came. But obviously, he's got things working the way he wants to, and he's got us playing a good style of football. He's bought wisely, I think, in the players he's bought. I'm not saying how he's bought me, but I think the other players he's bought as well have slotted straight into the style of the game he wants to play.
There's another side to Kenny Dalglish which people don't see very often.
You know, he's a very happy person, and he's forever laughing and joking and mickey taking. He's just like one of the lads.
Were you a bit surprised by that?
I was really, yeah. Nicely surprised, yeah.
And he does command tremendous loyalty from players.
Yeah, I think he's got so much respect in the game. You know, when he starts speaking on a Saturday afternoon in his team talk, you know, there's total silence and everyone just sits and listens to what he has to say.
I mean, I suppose there's only so much more that you can learn about the profession you've been plying for so long, but you can learn from him, can't you?
Certainly, yeah. And I don't think he's the sort of manager who's stopped trying to learn himself, because I've never spoke to anyone who's watched so much football. He's forever watching football games, travelling around watching games, and also watching videos and Sky Sports. Any football that's on, he's watching.
So this isn't a play thing to him being manager of Blackburn Rovers?
Not at all, no. I think he's probably a lot more relaxed here than what he was at Liverpool. He comes across that way anyway. But, you know, he's working hard at it, and hopefully we'll get the right results.
Are you enjoying the extra responsibility that goes with being an old hand amongst some people who are new to all this?
Yeah, I think, no, I'm just enjoying myself, really. I think if you look back over the years, the times that Blackburn have come close to getting promoted and being in a similar sort of situation as what we are in now, probably not top of the table, but pushing for a place either to get promoted or in the playoffs. I mean, hopefully we can do it this time, because I'm sure we've got enough experience this time on the playing side and on the staff side as well.
The blueprint was there for everyone to inspect. No expense spared. Millionaire football came to Ewood Park with Mike Newell's debut against Barnsley. Butler's clearance came off Atkins. Cleared by Wright. Speedie. Sellers. Richardson looking for Newell out on the left. Smith across to try and check Blackburn's smooth progress. Newell got his cross in. Speedie denied by Taggart. Wilcox trying to get there. Richardson. Speedie. Goal! Barnsley just ran out of resistance. They offered plenty. Speedie denied first. Then Jason Wilcox denied. Then Lee Richardson denied. But David Speedie lying in wait. Hill's throw. Newell lost his footing, but not the ball. Hill's cross. Away as far as Atkins. Stellers. Abracadabra. How did he do that? Alan Wright. David Speedie! Not far away from a memorable goal. Redfern. Away from Atkins. Oh, and Bobby Mims had to make a very smart save. As chance away by Newell. Richardson. Strong play and a bit of space now. And here comes Wilcox in overdrive. Speedie's in the middle. Wilcox going for glory and getting it. 20 minutes to go and a stirring goal from Jason Wilcox. It's 2-0. Well won by Wilcox. And there are runners to his left. One of them, Mike Newell, real chance. Oh, beautifully done. Welcome to Ewood. Mike Newell marks his debut with a goal that carried the mark of distinction. This is a real expert at work. The two main Barnsley players in the game taken out of the game by one turn. 3-0. But it wasn't all about big names and big money. Dalglish was investing faith in some of Blackburn's existing assets. Jason Wilcox, reintroduced by Tony Parks, was showing the new manager his paces. The goalless draw at Newcastle was Bobby Mim's third consecutive clean sheet. There was a new organisation about the team. Not word perfect just yet, but able to stand their ground in the division's most intimidating grounds. Homegrown talent such as Keith Hill and Richard Brown were given extended runs. Dalglish, never frightened to tailor his team to the occasion, had made his initial forays into the transfer market and was prepared to stick with what he had for a while. 4 Blackburn players were named in the PFA Second Division select team, the gifted Scott Sellers amongst them. Rovers were at home in the best of company.
Kevin Moran looking for the right pass and intercepted by Moen. Hesitation, and suddenly there's a real chance for Blackburn. Here's Mike Newell. Working it in, onto that right foot. Good save from Pears. Sellers closing in, but Pears was alert to the second one as well. Feet caught by Jason Wilcox. Garner, Wilcox, real chance this. Garner's continued the run. Oh, it's gone by. Ripley, never quite sure what he's going to do, but he's very strong and he's holding off Wilcox. And then he's caught by Wilcox. What's the view? Penalty. Karen Barrett, with no doubt that this was a penalty offence. Ernie Slaven, chorus of booing from a big Blackburn crowd, but it doesn't distract him. And 2 minutes from half-time, Middlesbrough take the lead. Sellers, lovely skill, right up ahead of him, and Curtis Fleming's bumped into the back, and that's another penalty. 1 minute after the previous one, Blackburn have a chance to level it up. Mike Newell converts, and Blackburn are back at 1-1. Richard Brown. An inviting ball to Mike Newell, who brings it down, all in one go, and smashes the woodwork. Lovely ball in. The control was perfect. The shot just not quite, and the bar denies him. Sellers tried to thread it through, but couldn't do. Might get a second chance. Jason Wilcox. Oh, he's hit the bar, and Garner was screaming for it in the middle. Cowan's corner. Moran's header. Atkins! 2-1. 13 minutes to go. Forward by Cowans. That's not the best of headers from Robbie Musto. Reed has got the better of Moen. Chance to seal it. Good save. Stephen Pears.
Home wins were arriving almost as a matter of course. Away wins a little less frequently, but they were 2 up in half an hour at Oxford. Scott Sellers with the first. Then after a range finder from Richard Brown, the first from the club, from Gordon Cowans. Cowans had made it quite clear that Blackburn intended to play their way out of the division in time-honoured fashion. There was now a pedigree about some of their football that belonged at the highest level. Simon Garner with the finishing touch to a top-quality move. A top-quality win, sealed by Newell's cross, and Garner's insatiable hunger to extend his club record goals total. Bristol Rovers were next in the firing line. Alan Wright. Newell. Back to Sellers. Wright again. Sellers has gone on. Wright instead coming inside for Atkins, onside and on target. Mark Atkins makes it 1-0. Cowan's free kick. Touched on by Moran. Hendry. Off the line by Cross with Kelly beaten. Wilcox. Newell arriving. Did well to reach it, really. Away as far as Cowans. Newell. Into the path of Wilcox, who's running right now. And they're queuing up here. Cowans. Great save. Atkins. 3-0. 3 goals in 6 minutes. And a second for Mark Atkins. He had one swing at it when Wilcox cut it back. Kelly's save from Cowans deserved a better fate. No sympathy though from Mark Atkins. A goal either side of one from Scott Sellers. 3-0. 2 months after taking over, Dalglish had steered Blackburn to the top of the pile. They stayed there for the next 3 months. The 3 wise men, Walker, Dalglish and Fox, have seen much to get excited about. Tragically, Bill Fox, the father figure of the modern Blackburn, died before they reached the top.
Finnegan going for that with Newell. Newell has it, tries one, and again, goalkeeper Forrest at full stretch from the former Luton player. Thompson, but there's nobody going to get that one except Brown. Now he's got time to pick his man out up front, either Speedie or Newell. And Newell's going to get this one. Turning away from Walk, it's a great cross, and it goes right. What a goal from Alan Wright. And that's his first for the club. Brilliant turn by Newell, getting away from Walk. It's a lovely cross, but that's a spectacular volley. Thanks to Dazelle. Now Johnson. Kiwomia trying to get at this one. There's Dazelle. Oh, a brilliant save. It's a nice ball quickly forward to Kiwomia, who's with Hendry. Kiwomia turns it. It's away by Moran. Only to Whitten. Can he chip it up to Dazelle? And there's the header from in for Kiwomia. Can he turn? And here's Dazelle. Dazelle shoots. A brilliant goal for Ipswich. 5 minutes from the end.
Blackburn's first defeat in over 7 weeks, and they were desperate to begin the new year with a scalp of another promotion hopeful, Cambridge United. Cambridge had their desperate moments too. Danny O'Shea departed the game midway through the first half, robbed by David Speedie. He pinched a right handful of his shirt and left the visitors to play 3/4 of the game with 10 men. To add to his misery, it was Speedie, surprise, surprise, who gave Rovers the lead. Sculptured by Mike Newell and Mark Atkins, and finished with a flourish by the one and only. Celebrates like he plays, doesn't he? Cambridge play one way and one way only. Bailey's corner, Chappell's header, no more than the visitors deserved in truth. But 3 minutes from time, Chappell handed back the advantage that he'd taken. Atkins forced a mistake out of him, and Nicky Reid, on as a first-half substitute, did the rest. 1992 was always going to be a big year for Blackburn Rovers. It started with a win carved out of the dying minutes of a game Rovers could have lost. They need more of that kind of spirit before the year was out. Scott Sellers breaking loose, just loves to run with the ball, and he's got Bristol City in retreat here. Great rub by Sellers. Mike Newell, a goal in 2 minutes. Speedie. Newell. Speedie's gone on. As a teasing cross, Martin Scott has turned it into his own goal. Right cross. Away as far as Wilcox. Atkins. Mike Newell. Oh! Caught hold of that one all right. Bristol City open to the face of Wilcox again. Speedie, it's a rout. 4-0. For all the excellence of their home form, Rovers couldn't get more than a point clear at the top of the table. At Portsmouth the following week, the thriving Newell-Speedie combination produced another breathtaking goal. Early in the second half, the irrepressible Speedie put Blackburn 2 up from Richard Brown's cross. They were still 2 up with 11 minutes to play. But John Beresford squeezed a free kick round the wall and through the keeper's hand. And with less than a minute remaining, the heart of the Rovers' rear guard was opened up for Guy Whittingham to charge through and pull for a point. Blackburn were lucky that they had their Ewood form to come home to.
5 minutes from half-time. Its corner was cleared. Moran. Driven in by Kerslake. Calderwood. Jones. That's a good save from Minns, but Mitchell's reacted the quickest, and Swindon have the lead. Alan Wright loves to come forward. Sellers with a flick. Colin Hendry turning and shooting and scoring. On to bolster the attack. The defender turns striker again. Down forward, Hendry. Oh, it's gone by the post. Smacked forward by Wright. Hendry making a nuisance of himself, and this time it's fallen for Speedie. David Speedie! 1-0 down, now 2-1, and David Speedie 6th in 5 games.
After more than 2 months locked away in the draw, the chequebook came out again at the start of February. £125,000 to bring Chris Price back from Aston Villa. And it was the old Chris Price.
Warren for Blackburn, and that's a good ball down the line, giving Newell a chance to chase and harry the Grimsby defenders. It's Lever confronting him. It's 1 against 2. He's found Cowans. Useful ball from him to Price, who goes on a run, and Chris Price marks his return to Blackburn Rovers with a goal in the first 5 minutes. Speedie, the clear header inside, is picked up by Sellers, who's got one man Newell outside him and one man ahead of him, and Sellers is clever enough to go the whole way. He's still here and gets the left shore. A marvellous goal. Scott Sellers. Blackburn do look dangerous every time they get into the Grimsby half, and Sellers plays another intelligent ball in, and that is 3-0. That's an own goal, I reckon. Although Jason Wilcox is taking the credit, I think it may well have gone in off Kevin Jobling.
The top floor of the second division had been crowded for weeks. Suddenly, Blackburn moved into a penthouse suite of their own. Chris Price was added again when Derby County came to Ewood. 2 goals in 2 games was enough for a fullback to celebrate in full. When Cowan's corner honed in on Mark Atkins' head, Rovers were heading for a 4-point lead at the top. 5 wins and a draw from their last 6 league games. Kenny was doing and saying all the right things.
You're on top of the second division. How close are you to the side that you want?
We're no different from any side. If there's someone that's better than what you've got at this particular moment, you go out and you try and get them. But everybody that we've had and everybody that's played for us has worked tremendously hard. They've given us everything they've got. We couldn't ask for any more from any player that we've got. Whether he's come in as a new signing since we've gone there, or whether we've inherited him from Donald Mackay, they've given us everything, and that's what I can ask from any player.
But Mike Newell wasn't just any player. On February the 15th, he suffered a fractured left shin. Blackburn weren't the same without him. Newell's collision with Newcastle's Mark Stimson might have brought his season to an end. That was the way it looked at the time. The biggest day yet in the Ewood season contained a cruel twist. It was only Kevin Keegan's second game in charge at Newcastle. The old Liverpool connection kept the feature writers going all week. In tabloid terms, it was simply Keegan versus Dalglish.
Ran through right, but not through Hill. Difficult for Blackburn to clear their lines. This is Peacock again, and this is a chance for Clark. Looking for Kelly, and Newcastle are in front. David Kelly, 2 last week against Bristol City, scores against Blackburn after 12 minutes. Wilcox just started his run a little late, and caught Tommy Wright a little late too. The referee is going to restart play with a bounce ball, which I find a little difficult to understand. Newcastle are absolutely furious about this. They felt the goalkeeper Wright was fouled there by Wilcox. The bounce ball falls Newcastle's way, but this is Brown. And there's a chance there, and Speedie's taken it. It's an equaliser for Blackburn with 3 minutes of the first half remaining. Kelly caught in possession by Cowans. This is Hendry. Pulled in for Speedie! Oh, what a special goal that is from David Speedie. And now gone, Rovers take the lead. A memorable strike from their leading scorer, David Speedie. Number 18 of the season. A spectacular diving header. Little over 15 minutes remaining. Sellers and Cowans trying to conjure something up. Sellers taken away from the goalkeeper by his own defender. Hendry, Speedie hat-trick hunting, and Speedie hat-trick getting.
Wilcox. Nice little layer from Garner, teeing up Sellers. Great save from Basie. Right. Certainly a confident fellow, and here's another confident man, Simon Gardner, and he's brought down, and that's a penalty. Scott Sellers to make it 1-0. Andrew Melville pumping it forward. Missed by everyone, including Hill, but not by John Durnin. And that is one each. Wilcox. Sherwood, lovely ball, Simon Garner, and he's had another penalty, it is. Andrew Melville fouling. Scott Sellers saved. Vasey gets right.
Lowly Oxford ended a run of 12 consecutive home wins since Dalglish's arrival. All good things come to an end sometime, but a 3-0 defeat by Bristol Rovers suggested the start of something. As quick as it all came right, it all went wrong. Possibilities for Benjamin. Moran and Cowans are there, but this is Ansar, and that's 1-0 Southend. Totally against a run of play. Jones. Cornwell. Austin. Hung up for Angel, and Brown's lost it. Brett Angel, problems, big problems. It's 2-0 to Southend. This is Richard Brown. Picked out Wegley, picked out Price, and Chris Price has picked out the back of the net. Last minute, last chance. In for Hendry again. Speedie, he's done it! David Speedie cuts through the tension to ease Blackburn back on terms.
The lads that go out there give 100%, and the lads that are coming into the team are giving 100%, which is the main thing. We have got good players that can come in, but you know, we don't feel. People keep talking about pressure. We don't feel any pressure. We just go out there and play to the best of our ability, and if that gets us results, then that's fair enough.
Kenny Dalglish certainly wasn't about to sit around and let it happen. Roy Wegley, Duncan Shearer and Tim Sherwood signed at a total cost of £2.3 million. It produced something of a false dawn. A 3-0 victory at Brighton, triggered by emergency striker Colin Hendry. Teeing up the first for David Speedie, celebrated by Roy Wegley. And then backpedalling unchallenged, Hendry headed in Alan Wright's cross to make it 2. The long trip south appeared to be a road to recovery. It was all smiles again. Jason Wilcox ushered Wegley forward to score his first for the club, and it looked like the parachute had opened just in time. Their first win in 6 maybe, but Blackburn was still on top, still on course. One or two of their rivals had games in hand, but it was unthinkable that Derby County, 11 points adrift, would be eventual playoff opponents.
We're professional players, we know our job, professional people know our job, and you know, we do it to the best of our abilities. We're up at the top of the league on merit, and it's up to us to keep playing in the manner that got us to the top of the league. You know, I mean, the press and the media have, you know, talked about Blackburn winning the championship for long enough now and getting promoted, so it's not just last week that the pressure's been on.
But the worst was still to come. Unbelievably, inexplicably, Blackburn lost their next 6 games. The roller coaster was heading down.
Injuries there for Blackburn. Just strong in a 2. Brown breaks off Palmer. Broken for Lee. 10 minutes gone in the second half, and Charlton are 1 up. Now battle break for Leeburn. Leeburn, chance to seal it. And he has sealed it. 2-0.
Games that Rovers had the possession and pressure to win 2 or 3 times over were slipping through their fingers. Duncan Shearer's debut goal at Barnsley wiped out by 2 second-half replies. The headline writers closing in on every detail of the disaster. Rovers travelled to Watford and ran into the form team in the division. Roy Wegley's goal couldn't avert another defeat. It was one thing after another. Against Wolves at Ewood, Blackburn again took the lead. Shearer frustrated, Sellers elated. But it wasn't enough. With Bobby Mims out, Matt Dickens made his debut in goal. In the last minute of a nervous baptism, Paul Birch charged his arm from way out, and Dickens' luck was completely out. It was becoming a familiar story.
I think everybody's edgy. I think we're edgy for that win. You know, it's 4 defeats since I've come here, and I'm not sure how many have been beaten, you know, beforehand. So obviously, you know, if I said the confidence wasn't low, then I'd be lying. But that's nothing that a win won't be right.
But Blackburn had forgotten how to win. Lady Luck had forgotten her way to Ewood Park.
Kevin Russell onside, Mims out to meet him. Oh, only into the chest of Russell. What a chance for the substitute. He's run it in.
Rovers have been run clean out of the playoff places, 13 points adrift of the new title pace.
It's always difficult when new players come in and people have to start playing with different players. But we can't make excuses. We've had a couple of injuries and we've got a big squad. We've got a biggest squad as anybody in the league. So at the end of the day, we're not making excuses, and you know, we've only got ourselves to blame if we don't do it.
The vultures were circling. It seemed like Rovers against the world. But Rovers were ready for the fight.
It's the same anywhere in the world. Wherever the money is, people want to cut you down, no matter who's in charge. So we're all aware of that. We just have to take it in our stride.
Just when the rest of football was standing over them, waiting to count them out, Blackburn began to fight back.
Here's Alan Wright, looking for support. Wilcox has shown for him, and that's where it's gone. Here's Wright again. It's a beautiful ball in, causing trouble, and Mike Newell levels it up at 1-1. Ray losing out. Breaks for Verveer, and he's given it to Atkins. And Atkins says thank you very much indeed. 2-1. 2 goals in 7 minutes, and the turnaround complete.
It's Jason Wilcox. Good cross. Away by Ball. Hendry! Blackburn in front. Colin Hendry serves up the tonic. Just 4 minutes remaining. Rovers 2-1 down. Defeat unthinkable. Sunderland should be thinking of Wembley. They may deny Blackburn the chance to go there. Roy Wegley. Turned away. Scott Sellers. Oh, you beauty! Scott Sellers has saved the day.
Henry. We're now playing stoppage time at the end of the first half. Speedie! It's 1-1! We played more than 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Sellers chips it back in. Shilton stretching. They all miss it, and he's got it again. David Speedie scores his second goal in the space of 2 minutes. Blackburn Rovers fans delirious at their side, lead by 2 goals to 1. Plymouth must come back into this one if they're going to stay in Division 2. Speedie's on his way here for Blackburn. He's on his hat-trick. He beats Peter Shilton. It's certainly the goal which will take Blackburn Rovers into the playoffs.
Rovers fans didn't know whether to laugh or to cry. Sixth place was good enough for the playoffs in a semi-final with Arthur Cox and fellow spenders Derby County. But Blackburn had been through the playoff ordeal 3 times without a stroke of luck. Here we go again.
As soon as Ted McMinn puts the ball down, Simpson will take the quick free kick. It's into Gabbiadini! Marco Gabbiadini gives Derby County the lead inside 3 minutes. This is Paul Williams. And now Paul Simpson. Johnson has made a run down the inside leg channel. There's outstretched Hendry and Mint is committed. And Derby are 2 up. It's Tommy Johnson, the playoff specialist. A quarter of an hour gone. And Derby County made a dream start. It looks like Scott Sellers. It's there! Just the break that Blackburn needed. 10 minutes before the break, and Scott Sellers' deflected free kick gives hope to those fans again. Oh, what a precious goal. Broke off the wall, wrong-footed Sutton. Cowans. Newell has drawn wide. Hendry and May are still in there. Mike Newell. Good shot! Oh, what a time to score! Last minute of the first half. Blackburn Rovers draw level with a gem from Mike Newell. Cut inside, fancied his chances, and why not? Headed by Coleman. Cowans and Atkins and Newell, and it's fallen for Atkins off Comin, and a great chance here for Davy Speedie, and Blackburn Rovers are in front at last. The rescue package, launched in the closing stage of the first half, has carried them into the lead. And boy, do they deserve it. Comin miskicked. Carefully played by Atkins into the path of Speedie, and carefully finished, just a hint of a deflection. Newell got away from Comin, he's got Speedie in support, Davy Speedie, 4-2! They're unstoppable!
And so they proved. In a siege of a second leg, Rovers were immovable. The heart and pride that money cannot buy saw them through. Jack Walker's dream ticket was still in one piece, thanks to a goal deserving of a bravery medal from their inspirational skipper, Kevin Moran. Kenny Dalglish was going back to Wembley. More than 30,000 Lancastrians travelled south to watch Blackburn play the roulette wheel again. The prize, Premier League football. The squad as ready as it would ever be.
Hasn't got a better squad than what we had the last time we were in the playoffs. But you can never tell. This is, guys, Wembley's a one-off sort of a situation, you know, coming to play here in the final of the playoffs. And you just hope that, you know, on the day the team will click and you create the chances, put them away, and you get the breaks that count for such a big game.
Well, the last game I played in was the Crystal Palace one, when we get beat at Palace. And obviously there wasn't an atmosphere like this, but, you know, this is the atmosphere of a cup final, but the importance of, you know, promotion. So, you know, to be fair, I personally think it's a bit more important than possibly FA Cup, because this is what our whole season's based upon.
The players, the fans, the club refused to be denied this time. Kenny Dalglish sent Tony Parks out at the head of the team as a tribute to him and a reminder of Rovers' traditions. They travelled by the long and winding road again, but Blackburn were within sight of the finishing line. Middlesbrough manager Lenny Lawrence was with me in the commentary box for the last glorious leg.
Both Moran and Hendry are forward. Sellers and Atkins are lining themselves up. Mark Atkins will have the first run at it, and he bounced awkwardly in front of Muggleton, and he just had to fend it off. Skidded a little bit, Mark Atkins' free kick. Muggleton looked a little nervous. Mike Newell. Not quite sure that's what he intended to do, but it was very well executed, and he's got himself a free kick. Certainly bamboozled Steve Walsh. This is Sellers, accelerating away from Thompson. Never frightened to have a crack, Scott Sellers. Hendry together again, this time Hendry winning out. Alan Wright, on for Mike Newell. James couldn't reach it. This is Newell. Chance for him to run at Hill and James. He's turned them. Mike Newell hit Walsh in the face. He knew nothing about it. Newell's so unlucky. Great run and a great strike. And Steve Walsh almost unwittingly came to Leicester City's rescue.
Vintage Blackburn there, a great early ball from Alan Wright. Found Newell in space and he took it on very well. And he's a bit unlucky with the final shot. It hit Walsh.
Gary Mills though for Leicester City. He just plucked that one out of the air somehow. And here they come again down the left-hand side with Scott Sellers. Alan Wright trying to get up at his shoulder. Three to his right. Alan Wright arriving. Great cross. Muggleton struggling. Got to it the second time of asking. Last minute of this first half. It's been something of a sparring session. The two clearest shooting chances coming within a minute of each other. Newell for Blackburn and then Mills for Leicester. And here's Newell setting up Speedie for another. Sellers is in the middle. Speedie's got past Walsh. Has he? Penalty. George Courtney had no hesitation. David Speedie in the last minute of the first half has run a penalty for Blackburn Rovers.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. It's a great turn from Speedie. Just going to the byline here, he checks back through his legs. Walsh grabs him by the arm. I don't think there can be any doubt about it. Unlucky on Leicester, so close to half-time, but I don't think there's any doubt about that.
It'll be Mike Newell, who scored a really vital penalty at Tranmere to lift Blackburn's season last month. Mike Newell against Carl Muggleton. They're on the way! Applause from the manager. Delight for the players. Mike Newell, maybe the most important penalty of this long football season, gives Blackburn the advantage in first half stoppage time. Coolly taken. Hit the corner. Mike Whitlow will take the corner. The Air Force is forward. James and Walsh are in there. It's towards Ormond Roy. It found a way through to James and somehow found its way over the crossbar and away to Blackburn safety. Alan Wright getting the pat on the back.
Blackburn were fortunate there. Ormond Roy missed it completely at the near post. But it pitched in there. It could have gone anywhere and Alan Wright's got it off the line.
Whitlow with the free kick. Mims has come for it, not got it. Chance for Grayson, deflected and away this time by Colin Hendry. Two goal line clearances in the first 10 minutes of this second half, keeping Blackburn in front. First right, that time Hendry.
Bobby Mims has come there for the cross, not quite made it, just got a palm to it. It's dropped conveniently there, but there's about 5 Blackburn players on the line and they've scrambled it clear.
Right, here we go with the Leicester set-piece show again. Knocked in by Thompson. Oof. Good header by Walsh. Just got up above David May and it squirted over the crossbar. Alan Wright to Mark Atkins. Mike Newell's made a run. He's got in behind Colin Hill here. Chance for Mike Newell. He's held off the defender. Muggleton got a hand to it and he rode his luck. Mills has made a run down the centre. Space for G on the right-hand side. Beautifully delivered by Thompson. This is Phil G. Crossed in towards Ormond Roy. Russell's there. Great clearance by Hendry. Atkins. Newell. Sellers a passenger for the moment. Newell trying to play Atkins in. What a chance for Mark Atkins. Brought down was he? Yes! It's another penalty. Mark Atkins has won it. Last 6 minutes. And Blackburn Rovers are one kick away from the Premier League.
I should think that Mark Atkins is the only player on the Blackburn side, or maybe on the Tigers, who had the legs to make and the determination to make that run. He's got himself in behind the defence. Yeah, looks a penalty.
There are 5 minutes left on the clock. It's Mike Newell for the second time. Oh, beaten onto the post by Muggleton. The drama just never stops. Leicester throw. Orman Roy. Mike Newell back defending, everybody back defending. Thompson in towards Walsh, headed by Moore, and who else? Gary Mills. The referee looks at the watch again. That's it. Going up, going up, going up. Blackburn Rovers have made it at last. And the grey team would gamble by Jack Walker on Kenny Dalglish has paid out the Premier prize. Mike Newell's goal did it. Blackburn promoted to the Premier League. They've gone round the houses to get there. But after more than 25 years out of the big time, they've sealed their return on the big stage here at Wembley.